In this lesson you will learn to play guitar in the style of Noel Gallagher from Oasis. Hello and welcome to Guitar Club. This is an in the style of guitar lesson where I analyse a person's playing and see what we can learn from them. In this week's in the style of lesson we're going to be looking at the legendary Noel Gallagher from the band Oasis. And more specifically I want to look at how he approaches his chord playing and his chord progressions. This is a great place to start if you're looking to add some more Oasisisms to your playing and your writing. Please like the video and subscribe to the channel. Stick around to the end where I'll be sharing with you my 3 favourite tricks that Noel likes to use in his chord progressions. Adding these things to your chord progressions might add that little extra thing that you might be looking for. For this video I analysed 20 Oasis songs and I spotted some common similarities that Noel likes to use in his chord progressions. There are usually a few things that come up that add a different flavour to them that can really grab the listener's attention, and these types of things are great for enhancing melodies. Of the 20 songs I looked at, about half of them were using chords from the key of G, although a capo was used in quite a few of these to change the key of them. Songs such as Roll With It, Morning Glory, Wonderwall, Talk Tonight and Cast No Shadow. These songs all have chord progressions that involve the chords G, D and C add 9. His songs that use these kind of chords will sometimes use the chord E minor or E minor 7. He does seem to have a fondness for the E minor 7 chord, which he uses in a number of songs like Supersonic, Talk Tonight and Wonderwall. These types of songs will often contain the chord A7 sus4. This is a very interesting chord to use. The diatonic chords of the key of G major has an A minor chord in it, but Noel will often choose to change this to the A7 sus4 chord. This A7 sus4 chord is still diatonic, it still uses notes from the key of G major, but does give the chord progressions a slightly different flavour than just using an A minor chord. Of the songs I looked at, the only song in this key that used the A minor chord was the song Live Forever. This song has a more traditional approach to the chord progression using the normal A minor chord, but as per usual in an Oasis song there is always something in there that stands out and pricks up the listener's ears. But I will come to that a little later. Another key that is pretty common is the chords from the key of C major. Not used as much as the chords from the key of G, but still pretty common. And again, a capo is used in some instances as well. The songs that I analysed that use the chords from the key of C are The Importance of Being Idle, Hello, Half the World Away, and Don't Look Back in Anger. These songs will either start on the C major chord or its relative minor, which is A minor. These songs commonly use the chords C major, E minor, F major, G major and A minor. When in the key of C major there's another common chord added that I'd like to mention as well, which is the C/B chord, which is basically just playing a C major chord, but instead of having the C as the root note or the top note in the chord, we change that to a B note. This chord can be used to transition into the A minor really well, and it can also transition into the C major really well. These chord progressions always have a few what I will call Noelisms that he likes to do to spice up his chord progressions, which I will come to in just a moment. Now Noel uses these kind of chord progressions a lot, but he doesn't exclusively use them. He does use lots of different things in his songwriting as well. A couple of other things that I noticed when I was looking at these songs and are worth noting are the songs Little by Little and Some Might Say were in the key of D major. The key of G major and the key of D major share quite a few chords. But whereas the key of G major has the A minor chord, the key of D major has the A major chord, and this has quite a cool sound, and it also means you can blend these two keys together quite well. The key of E major was used in songs like She's Electric and Married with Children. These songs do have a similar sounding chord progression, starting on the E major chord, then going to a G sharp major or a G sharp dominant chord, to a C sharp minor, to an A major chord. So now I'd like to share with you the 3 tricks that Noel likes to use quite often to add to his sound and to add to these chord progressions to give them a bit of a different flavour to them. The first is the use of the flat 7 major chord. In the key of G major, the diatonic 7th chord would be the chord F sharp diminished. But what Noel will often do is, rather than playing an F sharp, he will flatten that so it's an F, and instead of it being a diminished chord, he'll play a normal major chord. So that's why it's a flat 7, because it's gone from F sharp to F, and rather than being diminished, it's major. So a flat 7th major chord. And this sounds fantastic when you go back to the 1 chord, so in this context, G major. This is used in the song Live Forever at the end of the chorus, with the verse of the song being G major, D major, A minor to C, and the chorus being the same but with E minor at the beginning, so E minor to D, A minor to C, but adding the F chord at the end just gives it a little bit of an edge, and it really enhances that vocal melody. So I would recommend, if you want to give this a try, try it in the key of G and just see if you can every so often put an F chord in there, but try and go back to a G chord after the F chord. See how it sounds, and if you like it, see if you can incorporate it into one of your chord progressions. The second of my favourite tricks that he uses, and he uses this one a lot, and it's the use of a secondary dominant chord. Basically, this is the act of borrowing a chord from another key to transition between 2 chords. For example, in the key of C major, he will often use an E major chord before going into an A minor. The key of C should really use an E minor chord, but changing this E minor chord into an E major chord really adds a cool movement if you use it before an A minor. Of the songs that I looked at, he used this in The Importance of Being Idle, Half the World Away, Rocking Chair, and Don't Look Back in Anger. From the songs that I looked at, he actually used this an awful lot, but these are just examples from the chords within the key of C major. The process of secondary dominance can seem confusing at first, but basically the idea is that whatever chord you are moving to, you find the 5th of that chord and then turn that into either a major chord or a dominant 7th chord. I'm not going to go into any more depth about this subject now. If it's something you want to see me cover, then just let me know in the comment section below. If this is confusing and you like the sound of it and want to give it a try, if you have a chord progression that uses an A minor in it, try putting an E major or an E dominant chord just before the A minor and see how it sounds. Also, if you have a chord progression that has either an E minor or an E major chord in it, try using a B7 before going to that E minor or E major chord. This is another really common one that I noticed Noel using in his songs. And like I said, this is definitely one of his most used tricks. And the third one, and possibly my favourite, is the minor 4 chord. Of the songs that I looked at, he only used this in the key of C major. But given the fact that I only analysed 20 of his songs, it is likely that he probably uses this in other keys as well. So feel free to experiment with this in any key. When in the key of C major, the 4 chord is the chord F major. If you play the F chord as normal as a major chord, but then change it to an F minor chord, this will lead you really nicely back to the 1 chord C major. This has a really awesome sound. He uses it in Half the World Away. So what do you say? You can't give me the dreams that are mine anyway. Half the world away. Half the world away. He also uses it in Don't Look Back in Anger. Gonna start a revolution from my bed. Cause she said the brains I had went to my head. Step outside the summertime. This chord change has always been a personal favourite of mine, and definitely another one to experiment with. Although all of these things have been used countless times throughout the ages, Noel Gallagher has definitely used them to define his sound, and he's developed his own art of songwriting. Love him or hate him, he is one of the most successful songwriters of his generation, and you have to respect that. Thank you very much for watching this video, and I hope you have some fun exploring some of these concepts. Let me know if there's anyone else you'd like to see covered in this in the style of series. Just let me know in the comment section below. Please like the video and subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you in the next one.